think that's what it means. So looking at the matchup, I like Sauter's team. He always drafts very conservative, very very decent, and Strax usually gets belligerently drunk, and then you don't know who he's going to draft at the draft. My favorite part of the draft on Saturday night at Matchcraft was I'm sitting up there minding my own business. I'm clicking on names and drafting for people and listening to all the banter behind me. And then at one point, it's Austin's turn to draft, and I hear Strack. Who the fuck's turn is it to draft? Fucking pick already. And I look behind me, knowing that it's Austin's pick, and I see Austin's face. Most priceless thing I've ever seen. Austin looks up like this, and he looks at Chris like he's gonna fucking murder him. And he said, "It's my pick. Chill the fuck out." And it was the most awesome thing that I've ever seen. So that was the highlight of my draft. Whether either of you thought that or remember that, just that story needed to happen. Needed to convey that to the other 11 of you. All right, so into the matchup. Matchup here. Strack had 2 players play last night. Didn't get much out of Emmanuel Sanders. Got 9 points out of defense, which is okay. He's still projected to beat Todd by 7 points. I don't necessarily dislike Strack's team. I like to look at the benches here, and we have on Todd's bench Danny Woodhead, and on Strack's bench Mr. Smallwood. So we have a Woodhead and a Smallwood. I'm not sure. Smallwood with Strack kind of makes sense to me. So that is what it is. You can make of it what you be. But as far as the matchup goes, I think it's going to be very close. Todd is going to get more than his 91 projected points. But I do think Strack's going to squeak one out this week with D'Angelo Williams as Pittsburgh's running back with Le'Veon Bell out. He had a great year last year doing that, and I think he's going to have the same this year, and that'll be the reason he wins. That's all I got. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, to a point, but...
With the story or the matchup?
I agree with the story.
All right.
But I'm going to have to go with Todd this week. Strack, you got a good team. I mean, I really like it. I like Russell. Got a lot of good things going there, but I'm gonna have to say that maybe Eddie Lacy wakes up, plays the first half of the season.
He's on Nutrisystem.
He's lost like 20 pounds. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to say Todd. This is going to be a squeaker, though, and I'm going to say Todd's going to win.
All right, we'll split decision there. We'll see what happens on Sunday. All right, here's the second last matchup, the matchup before the match of the week. This is almost the antithesis of the match of the week. We're going to call it the dumpster fire of the week. This is...
Wow.
Yeah, we're coming hard in 2016. Year 7, yeah, there's no filters anymore. So Team Lek versus Team Andy. Team Lek, for the 3rd, maybe 4th time in our league, but I think 3rd, Aaron Rodgers was taken number 1 overall.
First year, I took him number 1.
And you made the playoffs the only time, besides last year,
yeah.
The only time in your career.
Thanks.
Second year, Matt took him,
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers first overall, which he won the Toilet Bowl.
Uh-huh.
And Kevin won the championship that year.
That's correct.
But anyways, doesn't matter. He's on your team. So Aaron Rodgers is clearly a fan favorite amongst several people in the league. This matchup right now it's kind of tough to judge at this point because Andy already had 3 players play. Got a good game out of Cam with 21 points. A pretty good game out of his tight end Greg Olsen, and 7 points out of his defense, which isn't bad. So he's already up 35-0. Lex only projected at 78 points. That's kind of an issue on itself. But, what much is there to say when the projections are that far apart? I think that, Lex got some pieces. He definitely needs Eifert to come back sooner than later. The jury's out on Matt Jones as a running back. Thomas Rawls has his own injury problems. I think that I like Andy's team in general for the most part. I think he beats Leck by 15, 20 points this week.
I'm going to have to say you're probably right. I'm not going to disagree with that. The big question mark on Andy's team is Elliott. I can't wait to see what he does.
He's a virtual unknown to everybody.
I know, and I think he's awesome, and I think it could be a great pick.
The thing working for him is that offensive line.
Yes,
they're disgusting. The best in the league.
But they got quarterback issues.
Yeah,
to some people.
Right,
John. I mean, it's an interesting team. I'm gonna have to pick Andy, definitely this week.
All right, Andy's 1-0. John's 0-1, according to us dumbasses. But, hey, we'll see you Sunday. All right, the matchup of the week. The matchup we've all been waiting for. Not really, because it's only week 1. But this is Waylon versus Nick. Waylon had a good showing last year. I think he ended up in 3rd place. And Nick clearly had a good showing, being 2nd place last year. And a lot of people say this is Nick's year. He's been close to the championship every year. All right, let's look at their teams because this is important. The problem here with Nick's team is Tyler Lockett is starting in your flex spot. Who's Tyler Lockett again? Oh, he's a receiver. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the problem mainly. And Des Bryant, Dak. I think Dak Shepard. No, that's the actor that was in Up a Creek Without a Paddle. Or whatever, Without a Paddle. Yeah, no, fuck that.
Prescott?
Prescott. Yeah, that's the guy. He's going to throw to Dez. I don't know, a lot of question marks with Nick's guys. He is projected to do well this week. I like Waylon's team. He told me all week leading up to the draft, he's like, I'm going to get Adrian Peterson. Then all of a sudden, Leck goes with Aaron Rodgers, number 1 overall, and he gets Antonio Brown, just gift wrapped, handed to him. And that was the snowball at the top of the hill for Waylon's draft, and now he just got off running. And he has a pretty good team here. I'm kind of jealous a little bit, but I can guarantee you this. He thinks his team is a lot better than I think his team is.
That's a fact.
For sure. So, with that being said, he had a great keeper. He's got a good team. Their projections are close this week, 105 to 101. It's going to be neck and neck, and it depends on how those players that I talked about on next team perform this week with Dak Shepard, Prescott, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
And Ben Roethlisberger. I'm going to go with Waylon this week. It's going to be neck and neck, and these are, 2 of the best players in our league, and I think it's a good week 1 match of the week.
I agree with you there, but I do think this is going to come down to Roethlisberger, Gurley, and Green.
Okay.
And I think Nick comes out on top. Because I don't think that Stafford is going to do what he thinks he's going to do. And Jennings and Brown, we'll see what happens.
I don't like Jennings. But I will say it was good to have Patrick there on Saturday at Matchcraft. He was super pumped to be there, and I was super pumped to have him there. And as a whole, the whole night went incredibly well, except for I'm sure my dad was sleeping and the tables in the back because how boring it was for somebody who's not involved. But he wanted to see what it was all about. He said, next year maybe I want to do something like that. And I assured him he did not want to. So thanks everybody for being there. We'll get feedback whether we want to do that next year, do something like that, or at someone's house again. Doesn't really matter. We'll worry about that later. These week 1 matchups are going to be good, and this is, the first step to the rest of the year, and let's see what happens.
Peace.